What's up, everybody? It is a Blue Drake, and today I want to revisit an absolute work of art. What you are looking at right now is, albeit a slightly modified version of the original Crysis. Now, this game has been out for well over a decade at this point. And it's crazy to think that if I were to tell you that this game was just announced and you didn't know about Crysis and you never heard of Crysis before, you would probably believe me. And hilariously enough, I am actually not running any reshade. I am not running any graphics mod. This is Crysis out of the box. And trust me, the modified versions of Crysis look even better than this. Right now, all we're running is a realistic tactical weapons overhaul, which replaces all of the weapons in the game with realistic tactical versions, which is absolutely awesome. So you have like M4s instead of like the kind of scientific Scarab rifles, and you have just normal AKs instead of the copyright safe versions that EA had in the original Crysis. It's still super fun, but I think that every so often we just need to revisit this game to really keep us grounded. Because remember, Crysis looks and still looks this good out of the box. This is a game that originally released in 2007. Let that sink in. 2007. This game is going to be 14 years old here soon. Like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And I also think that this really has a lot to do, not just with keeping us grounded, but also reminding us about what made games great. One of the things about Crysis that I think has always kind of really made me a little sad is that there was so much more potential for this game than I think it really fully fulfilled. Crysis 3 and Crysis 2, I actually don't think were as good at games. I don't even think they looked as good. And the funniest thing as well is those games didn't have nearly as much mod support. They didn't have nearly as big a community around it as the original Crysis game. The original Crysis game, I think, had the potential to become a modding platform close to something like what Battlefield 2 was going to become. In fact, in a lot of ways, it kind of did. There's a lot of really amazing mods that I have covered that were based on the original Crysis, and also Crysis Wars that faded into obscurity because Crysis faded into obscurity. And why did Crysis fade into obscurity? I don't really think it's because it wasn't a good game. Crysis was an amazing game, and I still feel like if EA had really let the community take the reins, had given the community the support that they wanted, instead of going in the opposite direction and kind of like demonizing mod support and locking things down and making games less and less sandbox oriented, less and less community oriented. I mean, I think that Crysis was a taste of what could have been. It was so good. It was so good, and it's still absolutely amazing. And even for games that I'm working on right now, so for instance, Operation Harsh Doorstop, we still go back and look at Crysis and say, why was this so good, and how can we replicate this? Because if a game over 10 years can look this good, then there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to make a game look this good on UE4 or really anything else. Look at this. I love this. This is my favorite thing to do. Watch this. Boom. That's so cool. All of the destruction physics and everything in this game. Oh man, it was so much fun. So, if you want to download this mod that I'm playing right now, this is a really cool mod for this game. It basically turns Crysis into more of a realistic tactical shooter. I've got links down in the description. Definitely go check that out. It's super, super fun. And besides that, I mean, thanks so much for watching, and if anybody has any modifications for Crysis that they'd want to share or anything like that, please let me know, because I still love revisiting this game. And besides that, I will see you guys hopefully again here soon in another video. Hopefully you guys go and check out the game that I'm working on with our community, Operation Harsh Doorstop. I really hope at some point we're going to make a game that is going to be what Crysis could have been for the community and never was. One day, I hope. Big dreams, but gotta start somewhere. All right, that's it for today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Remember, as always, Blue Drake loves you. Cheers.